Okay. Today, I'm going to show you how to scale your map in Foundry VTT. Foundry is by far, in my opinion, the best VTT out there. It is has a lot of automation. So if you're playing a Paizo title, Pathfinder or Starfinder, this is the best VTT out there. You do have to pay $50 for the license one time, not a subscription, no nonsense. Just $50 and you own it. Once you own it for life. But it comes with all the rules, the stat blocks, the spells, all that stuff. You just drag and drop it onto character sheets. It doesn't come with all the artwork for the monsters, but if you look at my token video, you can solve that problem. Not an issue. And you're not going to use all of them anyway, just the ones you're going to use. It's fine. So anyway, watch the other video of how to get the map out of the PDFs. Then this is how you're going to scale it. And this works for any thing that has a grid on your map. Today I'm just going to talk about square grids. Hex grids are its own fun thing to deal with. And I'm not going to get into that today. But it'll make a separate video for hex grids. But right now we're going to talk about squares. So square grids, as you can tell from this setup, if you zoom in, you can see that these square grids on the map, the file that I have, versus the grid of the Foundry default, they're much different. And I'm just going to back up for a second. How you do this in Foundry is you're going to go to, because you're going to be the game master, obviously, if you're looking at this. So you're going to have all these different options here. You're going to go to the scene tab. You're going to go to create scene. You can name it thing. It doesn't matter what you name it. And then you're going to navigate to the appropriate file on your computer. And then you're going to add it. And that's it. Once you've added it, it'll pop up. Okay? I've already done that here, which in this case, it looks like this. I'm using the Forge, which is a subscription, but you don't have to. You can always self-host or use Foundry for a lot of other things that don't involve internet at all. I'm not going to get into that either. So anyway, once you've got your file, your picture that you want for your background uploaded, then you have to deal with the grid monster. Previous video, this is from my free RPG day map. You can now scale this appropriately. For you Foundry users out there, you might be saying, well, but Baylor, there's a mod that I can just import this PDF. Yes, you're right, you can do that. But this works for all those ones that you don't have and you don't get an import for, such as everything from Season 5 on, you don't have an import for. So this is going to work for all of that. And also some of those weird like adventure paths and things like that aren't in there. Anything that the Foundry team has made a product for on Paizo, you don't have an import for. So if you want to do it yourself, you got to follow this method. So there you go. You got your map in. So one of the ways you can do this, that's the way I used to do it, is you could just count the squares from top to bottom. But the problem in that method is this. You can notice here, they're cut off. It's not accurate. I mean, I don't know what percentage of a square this part right here is, or this percentage, or this percentage. I don't know what that is. So calculating that exactly is going to be a pain in the butt. So I don't do that. And I got this tip from Mr. Mike Moriarty. If you're out there listening, thank you again for this tip. So what you do is you go to the scene in question, you right click on it, you go to configure, and then you go from basics to grid. They use the square tool. Looks like a measuring square. I like to move this off to the side. And then where it says background image scale, Mike recommends 2.5. I know it doesn't need that much, but I'm just going to do it anyway. And then go to Save Changes and say yes, and then you have to do that at least once to get all the way through there, and then click on it again. Drag this back over. Okay. Now, they're pretty close, so you're going to use the arrow keys to just line this up. And so you just want to line up the top left. And you may notice that it's still not quite there. So, what you got to do is hold Shift and use your mouse. And I'm scrolling down right now, and it's getting smaller as I'm scrolling down. I can scroll up, and then we get bigger. I'm scrolling down, and it's getting pretty close. But after a while, you're going to have to readjust it. So again, use the arrow keys again. Get it back up to the top left. And this is the square of it. I've chosen this square right here. And forget everything else. I'm just picking this one square. Excuse me. And I'm just going to line it up with this one square. Don't focus on everything else. Just focus on one square. So again, I'm holding Shift, scrolling down. Oh, I'm trying to get rid of my square. I'm getting it pretty close, but again, it's come away from those lines, so I'm going to, again, use the arrow keys, line it back up. I'm scrolling down, and that's pretty good. I've got it, right? Right? Let's see. Scroll down, now you go to the opposite end of the map. And as you can see, it's not lined up. Ah! So, what you do is you just continue to scroll down a little bit, and it's going to line up. And there we go. Now it's all lined up. Now, is it absolutely perfect? No, it's not absolutely perfect. What do you want from me? It's not absolutely perfect, but it's pretty dang close. And I can tell you with almost 100% certainty that none of your players are going to care or notice. And if they do notice, then, you know, you shouldn't have it at your table, you know? So that's just my thought. Why is it black? I'll tell you why it's black, because I didn't put the visibility on here, so let's fix that. Token vision. Get out of here. Save changes. Okay. What happened? Oh, I didn't save it. Oh, that's a good lesson for you, though, isn't it? It's a great lesson. So we're going to leave Quinn out there. I get to do it again. Yay! Okay, perfect. Let this be a lesson to you. Okay, now I know it was closer to 2, so I'm going to just change it to 2 right now, and then we'll line it back up. Go back to this tool. And I'm going to line it back up again. And that kind of stuff that just happened to me, that'll happen. It'll happen to you too. It will happen to you. Because that is just the way things happen sometimes. So I need to scroll up a little bit to make this line up. There we go. All right. And then, of course, most importantly, you're going to click Save Changes. Yes. Save them. Save those changes. And now you'll see that Quinn is navigating in the snap to grid function on the grid because it's all lined up. And if you look right here, you can see that it's lined up, even on these weird slices of it. No problem. And that is how you scale your map in Foundry. Doesn't matter what size map you have. If you have a lot more squares, though, let's say you have like 70 by 70 or something like that, then you might want to pump it up to like 5 or 6, just as a starting point. But then from that point, you just pick a square, choose your favorite square. I like to start at the top left, and then just line that one up. And then once you've got that one lined up perfectly, it's just a few more scrolls to get it lined up on the other side. And then if you have it in top left, bottom right, then it's square the whole way. So that's that. Now you know how to do it. We'll see you later. Now go do it. Go scale the map. Go scale the map. Scale your maps. Keep scaling. Get it right.